Thank you all for being here. I'm having a great time in Italy. I always do. It's always a fun culture, and I always feel more passionate and more energized, and that's a tribute to you for having a certain and probably only semi-conscious exuberance that you show in life. So again, it's something culturally that the Italians are here to teach the rest of the world. Again, it's really fun to be here. Thanks for my publisher, Carpaccio, and thank them for spreading the word of this 12th insight in Italy. Let me ask a couple of questions to begin. How many of you have experienced something of a synchronicity that brought you here tonight at this moment? How many of you, when you were reading the Celestine prophecy for the first time, experienced more synchronicities? Everyone. The 12th insight is about taking all of this insight that we've gained, really that humanity has gained for the last 50 years, and putting it into practice. And that spiritual practice, living our spirituality every day, represents a kind of integration into the world of a higher level of spirituality, where we experience an ongoing flow of these mysterious coincidences in life that reveal our destinies. So think of this moment as an entry into a marvelous world of spirituality that I believe is underway on our planet today. For what is occurring is happening within the experience and the consciousness of individuals as it comes home from the intellect, something we talk about over coffee, and begins to be real at an everyday level and gives us a greater life just when the world seems so very challenging and threatening. And this greater life is about allowing ourselves to be led and protected. This is the 12th insight that's occurring, and it's what I want to talk to you in detail about for a few minutes tonight. Perhaps because of what is occurring in the world, collapse in the financial system, very difficult economic times for many, many people, an increase in the threats of terrorism. Because of all this, we are now, and let me add, corruption at all levels of government and business, conducted in small businesses and large businesses. We see around us a world of corruption and deception. And because of this, we are witnessing the beginning of a return to integrity by the human race. This begins at the personal level when we decide that we want, instead of being deceptive in our relations with others, we have a new honor over truthfulness. And that honor over truthfulness, so that we are telling the best truth that we can tell in an effort to help the person we're talking to, that begins an opening at the everyday level of a grounded new spiritual consciousness. This is the beginning of the 12th insight. This is the antidote, the cure for a world that's so deceptive and so corrupt. It's a whole wave of individuals deciding to be in integrity and to live authentically. And it's the greatest, it reveals and opens up oneself to all the real fruits of the spiritual life. What happens is that when we decide to honor truthfulness, so that we tell someone something, we think beforehand, is this true? Is this the truest way that I can talk to this person? Because we have to tell the truth about who we are as individuals, what we've done, all our secrets, be totally transparent about what we dream for, and be willing to say this openly, not to have power over another individual, but to be of service to that individual. The truth sets you free in a very real sense spiritually. Because as soon as you want to be of service to other people, and you really want to tell him the best truth that you know, it opens one's right side of the brain all the way up to receive information intuitively for what is the best thing to say to another person to be of service. This is a spiritual event, this opening. And what comes in is, first of all, intuition about who we are as individuals, what our soul's dream is, what we intuit that we came here to do, to be helpful, to help the human race, to help others. We also get a sense that this is something that we can do with people that we know. We can talk to them about it. We can engage in what the characters in the book discover as conscious conversation, truthful conversation in a world of deception. And what comes in with that is not just an intuition of what to say to help someone, but what to do to help ourselves. Every problem that we have has a solution that will be given to us intuitively if we honor truth. Life is not supposed to be so hard. We're guided in life. We're led forward in life. This begins a uplifting of your soul into the world and a downloading of all the rest of your knowledge. So whoever you think you are right now, it's not who you are. So you're much wiser. You know what to say when your friends need help. All this information is available to you. And while it's always been available to human beings all through the centuries, at this moment it's more readily accessible than ever before. What's important is to make a decision to open up to this consciousness. We have the language to talk about it with each other. We have the language for it to be described in a book or in lectures. It's a new time in human history. And this is very interesting because it has been predicted by the Mayan calendar and other prophecies to happen in exactly this time period. Now, I actually didn't really study the Mayan calendar much until this book was almost finished. But then I realized that this calendar is speaking about the 12th insight, about this opening that we can have in our spiritual life. And as your sense of intuitive truth expands, you begin to realize that you are here, we're all here, to do something in the world that our souls want to accomplish. It does not have to be anything that makes you famous. It has to just be something that you say to people that you meet in the world that is helpful, that you came to say into this world. And what's so exciting about that is that it's never been easier. I mean, I'm running all over the world talking about this, and it's unbelievably exciting because what are the chances? You know, we have this calendar, other prophecies saying there would be the opportunity for a great renaissance in this time period, these years that we're living in right now. The book, like the book, The 12th Insight, like the Celestine Prophecy, is designed to be an adventure, to engage in, to let yourself go into this adventure, to see exactly how one person opened up to this life that I'm describing. It's a journey you take, but it's a journey that I believe millions of people are beginning to take already. It took me 8 years or however long it's been to write this book because I've tried to honor the truth of this in my own life and to see how well it worked at the everyday level. And what happens when you engage and open to this consciousness is that very quickly you will feel changes occurring that I want to describe in a little bit more detail. How many of you believe in karma? What goes around comes around. We are understanding, as we apply this knowledge, we're understanding how karma works. And it works on truth. When we're honorable over the truth, our best truth that we can come up with, and we say that truth to another person to the best of our ability in a way to be helpful, then it creates a karmic response from a divinely created world. So when we speak the truth in service of others, because of a karmic reaction, a positive karmic reaction, we draw into other people into our lives that act the same way. They're coming to be helpful to us and telling us a truth that we need to hear. It's as simple as that. The universe reflects back the way we live. So think about that. Synchronicity is when some new information comes just when we need it, that opens up our lives. So by living in alignment with karma, with the karmic design, we suddenly increase these sort of everyday miracles where we get help in life. On the other hand, if we act in a way that distorts the truth to another person in order to look good or to hide something or to make the sale in business, that also elicits a karmic response. So that instead of drawing into our lives helpful people, we draw into our lives people that are also deceptive, the way we're behaving, not as punishment, but so we can see the damage that comes when we mislead people and tell them false truths. If we want to change our luck and have life go better for us, easier, then tell the absolute truth, always looking to be of service to the other person. The world is designed for us to blossom when we are in alignment with this design. How many of you have a business or have a project that you're working on? This is the way to actualize your dream. This is the real law of attraction. This is the way spiritual people can manifest in the world. We don't get what our egos want. We get what our soul wants. This is a clarity that's coming to the world in the face of all this corruption. We are moving to be an antidote to the corruption, to model a different way. And as soon as we make a decision to be on the side of alignment and on the side of service, our worlds completely can change. And this is the foundation for all the miracles that can happen in our lives. So once we have this firm foundation, then we enter a growing into influence in the world. This means we are understanding how to grow this consciousness so that we're doing what we are supposed to do, we're saying the things we're supposed to say, and we're modeling, which is very important, we're modeling a oneness. And this oneness only that can save this world from its troubles. The modeling works in this way. We're all one. We all are have influence. We're telepathic to each other, which means the way we are and the way we live is contagious to the people around us. And that means how we act, how we behave, acts to get other people to act just like we do. It pulls them into our consciousness for good or for ill. So we have to give energy either to one side or the other, the side of corruption, because we're not telling the truth, or the side of truth and spiritual connection. And if we're on this side, just by how we live, then we lift other people around us into this higher spiritual connection. So we have to make a decision which side are we going to be influencing on? Which side are we going to live? And at this moment in history, this is a very important decision. Because when we have a positive influence on one person, then they can have a positive influence on another, someone they know, and on, until someone, a good friend, can reach that child that's being talked into strapping on a suicide vest, or that businessman about to make a corruption a decision that's damaging to the world, or that government official who's about to succumb to a payoff and do something that's not in the public interest. That's how important it's important. That's how important it is. What we do just with our own lives. So it's the only way to save the world. It's also the most marvelous life we can have. And we have the knowledge that it takes to do this. Our brains are wired to open up into this consciousness. We're wired to have a downloading experience of the rest of our wisdom, no matter whether we think we're smart or not smart. Everyone has access to this wisdom about what can be done in life and what can change the life of another person if we just risk telling our truth to them. The Mayan calendar predicts this actual event, this indwelling of a consciousness, a divine part of ourselves coming into us, bringing all this wisdom and all this fun. Never has it been so readily accessible. Never have we had the language to discuss it among ourselves. But we still have to actually do it. It's not going to be imposed on us. The Mayans call it a wave of unity consciousness. I call it the 12th insight. What we're learning to do, all this knowledge is coming together as a kind of way to tune in to this consciousness. It's a tuning in that I have sought to describe in this 12th Insight book. So I hope, as with the Celestine Prophecy, you'll see this book as the experience of this consciousness coming in and what I'm calling integrations. One integration builds on another, and finally you reach to a point where you open up fully to the presence of the divine. So again, this is my attempt to describe it. Other people will see, will attempt to describe what's happening. It's something that each of us can prove to ourselves works with that first decision to live in integrity, and everything else unfolds from there. It all works together. In other words, if we live it, we will model it. And it's that modeling that has the greatest influence. Because remember, we're telepathic to each other. How we live and how we think and how we react to certain situations, that has an influence on everyone around us and collectively on the whole world. We all must convince our egos to allow ourselves to be guided. So we get all the guidance that we need. It's available to us. Do we have to meditate on certain issues? Do we have to pray in connection with the divine? Of course, yes. That's a basic thing. But the way through a problem, the way to be helpful in the world will be given to us. And remember, this larger consciousness will be given to us in steps as we tune into it. It's the genuine search for truth and honoring of truth, however, and a need to be helpful to every person that we have contact with. That begins the process. When you're honorable over little, you're given much. But remember, the truth is not relative. The truth is growing. So all we can do at any one time is tell the best truth we know. But allow that to evolve in our conversations with other people. So we create a process of consensus making so that we get our language better and better about what the truth of who we are as souls and humans and what the important parts of life are. That's what's been happening. We've had this great discussion for thousands of years about what is the meaning of life. I have never been more convinced now that we know the meaning of life. We finally arrived at the meaning of life. It is to begin to reconnect with the divine part of ourselves and to do something to help this world evolve forward. That's the meaning of life. We're moving toward a unity among all people. That's what 100,000 years ago the plan was. And that's what the plan is now. But we've never been at a situation where there's a consensus forming about what that plan is and how to participate in it. It's what the Mayans were forecasting. I believe it's the 12th insight. We are coming to a knowledge about how we should live human life from a spiritual point of view. So, again, I think we'll just leave it at that. Again, I hope you enjoy the book. You all know my website, probably CelestineVision.com. Just Google James Redfield. Send me a note. Tell me how you like the book. And again, thank you for all being here. I'm loving Italy. Should be very, very proud of the consciousness of this country, the heart of this country, because I always feel a certain way as everybody else does when they come to Italy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.